Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, your integration buddy. In this session, we're going to learn how to implement an API using Anypoint Code Builder. So we will use the same API that we designed in our earlier session. We will also see how do we deploy it to Cloudhub. If you find this video helpful, I request you to like it and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any upcoming videos from me. Click on Launch Web IDE. Now we'll see the Anypoint Code Builder's home page. So on the left hand side you will see Implement an API option. So just click on that. Click on Allow. So here the Anypoint Code Builder is doing a handshake with Anypoint platform. So you will get a notification to close this window. So once the handshake is done, so just go ahead and close it. Give the project name as Books API implementation using Anypoint Code Builder. Keep the project location as default. Search for the API specification which we created, which was a Books API. Yep, this is the one, version 2.0, published by me on March 5th. Add asset and create project. You will see the notification here, the project is getting scaffolded. So the scaffolding has finished successfully. And now you will see a mule project structure appearing on the left hand side. You see here the mule project structure has been created with mule artifact.json file, pom XML, and now you just click on the src folder. Under main, under mule, you will see the books API.xml that we just got from Exchange. So Anypoint Code Builder has really a cool feature, I would say, that it represents a graphical flow as well for better understanding of the XML flow. So on the left hand side you will see the graphical flow is getting created. We'll just wait for it to finish. So now the graphical flow has been generated. You see over here a total 5 flows have been created. The main flow, the console flow, the get all the books, get books by ID, and the post books. So last 3 flows are corresponding to the 3 methods which we created during our API design phase. Here is the main flow. So you can see the in the main flow it starts with the HTTP listener. And when you click on the HTTP listener, the corresponding XML part gets highlighted. Similarly, go through the console flow. You will see here the console flow is here with the default error handler being created. Then we get all the books. So on the right hand side you will see all the books examples which we wrote in our API design phase. And then we have the default error handler. Go to the next flow, get the books by ID using the URI parameter. So it has also the default error handler attached with it. And last but not the least, we have the post method flow. And on the right hand side you will see the same example that we have written during the API design phase. Go to the HTTP listener again, and on the right hand side in the XML you will see the API path has been added. Now it's a time to run and debug this application. So on the left hand side you will see the option to run and debug. And while running and debugging the application, you will see various options to track the variables, for call stack, watch, as well as to put the breakpoints. So click on Start Debugging. Under the Output tab, you will see the Mule Maven project getting generated. So the build has been successful. Under Terminal tab, you will see the logs appearing, similar to what we generally saw or when we deploy the project using Anypoint Studio. Now to test this API, we just copy the web ID URL. And now you see over here that the application has been deployed successfully on the local runtime. So to the book ID URL which we just copied, just append proxy 8081 as a port, API as a path, and books as endpoint. Press enter. You will see the details of all the books getting returned over here. Now to test it using a URI parameter, just pass 1 as a URI param and you will be able to see detail for only one book getting returned. So this is the documentation from MuleSoft which talks about how to test the application using a browser. So you will see in this URL it's mentioned to use proxy and then port number to test it using the browser. Now how do we test this application using the REST client or Postman? We just copy the same URL which we used for testing from browser. If we click on the send button, we will not get the anticipated response over here. This is because we need to pass an additional parameter, cookies, in the header section of the request. So how to find that cookies value? We'll just go to our web browser and press F12 button. Open DevTools. Under applications, you will see cookies. So here you will see these two cookies parameters. Just copy the name and values and paste it in the Postman. So this is the first key. Just copy its value. Semicolon. Second key. And second value. So now we have copied the cookies value and provided in the header section. Now when we send this request, we will get our anticipated response with details of all the books getting returned from the API. So we can do that the URI param as well. Just send this request and we'll get the response for only one book. And just close this DevTools. So now we are done with the API implementation part. Now we will move to how to deploy it to Cloudhub. Just close this terminal. So now to deploy it to a Cloudhub 1.0, we have to create a file called deploy.json. So that this is a MuleSoft official documentation which talks about how to deploy the application to Cloudhub 1.0. So we have to create the deploy.json under resources folder. Just go ahead and create a new file called deploy.json. This is the content we need to paste in that file, which talks about the runtime version, the worker size we want to deploy, the application name, how many workers we want to deploy, and whether we want to auto start the application or not. I'll just copy this content and paste it over here. Now press Ctrl Shift P and you will see an option to deploy to Cloudhub. Choose the environment as sandbox. Now you will see the notification that the application is getting packaged to deploy. In the meantime, go to Runtime Manager and you will find over here that application is getting deployed. See the Books API Anypoint Code Builder. The application status is deploying, and so deploying in the same runtime version 4.0 which we choose during the deployment. We'll give it some time to deploy. In the meantime, we'll just copy this the URL so that we can hit a request on this from Postman. So we'll just remove all this proxy 8081 thing and just replace it with the Cloudhub URL. So now you see that the application is deployed and started. We can just send a request from Postman and now you will see that all the books details are getting returned. Or we can send a URI parameter of 1 as well. Yep, you see that now only one book details have been returned. So that's it guys for this session. Thank you so much for watching.